Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Daily Outburst Talk Show. What's up, guys? How are you? Ginger, what's going on?
Oh my God, it's Monday.
Yes,
How
it
can I
is.
say it to me right now is manic Monday. I have been going nonstop all day.
Really,
Yes,
I can imagine.
but I'm here.
That's what's up. Gemini, how are you?
Yes, I am incredible. I'm incredible. 2023. I'm just ready for the next year.
Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of 2023, anybody have any resolutions going on?
I did not make them. Oh my Gemini. Okay,
Hi.
got
I'm
them red lips on.
you know,
Okay, look at her, look at Gemini.
I'm getting on my computer. Yes, get up on here, yes. I'm advocating for breastfeeding. 'Cause that's just what we do.
Absolutely, I agree with breastfeeding all day.
How was the weekend, guys?
My weekend was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I will say that.
Oh yeah. What'd you do? What'd you do? What's going on? What'd you do?
Well, as I stated, I was able to collaborate. I'm the chairwoman of Davie Jazz Society, so I was able to collaborate with the town of Davie
Mm-hmm.
to, plan out, host, and execute a beautiful plan of the Davie Jazzy Boots brunch, which was one of the first of its kind. So it was kind of like an outdoorsy event. Well, it was an outdoorsy event with jazz, food vendors. It was a family event.
Oh wow.
Love, peace.
Here we go. I was just getting the message. Yes.
There we go.
All right.
Nice lipstick. Look at you. The hair, the lipstick.
You
Look
know
at
what I'm
you.
saying? I decided to get ready today. Sometimes when you have a lot going on, you just gotta stop and pamper yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Self-care, right? That's what it's
yes,
called?
yes, self-care.
Self-care.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get to the topic here. I know huh?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can you hear us?
Mhm.
Okay, so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we got some good stuff going on here. We want to start off with Ginger. She's going to start off the topic tonight. She has something interesting going on, so we're going to go ahead and listen to what she has to say. And also, guys, please chime in, okay? In the comment section, chime in. We'll go ahead and read your comments and reply to it if necessary and so forth. So please don't hesitate. Don't be scared. We won't bite. All right, go ahead, Ginger.
So tonight's topic is in regards to Brittney Griner. I mean, I'm ecstatic that she's home. She's safe with her wife, with her family, and not in Russia being in prison. However, from the headlines and reading a lot of different comments on social media, blogs, and so forth, I've been noticing that the society or the communities are kind of, riding the fence with the decision that we made due to the prisoner swap and who we actually swapped out for Brittney.
Mhm.
So I wanted to know, what did America have to say about Brittney Griner's swap and her returning to be home? Because I'm sure there's a lot of different, opinions, questions, thoughts, insight, inquisitiveness about what actually took place. How did they make that decision? And how do we get from a famous basketball player to an arms dealer? And there's just so much behind that story. So let's talk about that.
Well, number one, here's what I think. Just like you said, she's a famous basketball player, and I believe the person that they swapped or traded for was an arms dealer. So to them, to Russia, he's probably famous over there. You see what I mean? Or of importance to them, because of course he's an arm dealer. When arm dealers are, they purchase and resell guns, military stuff, whatever the case may be for war. They are the middleman. So I believe that for them, for Putin, for Russia, I believe that was an ideal trade because, of course, with the Brittney Griner situation, it was a lot of publicity behind it. Everyone wanted her home. Everyone thought that was a stupid little misdemeanor that happened, that you could probably get a what? Down here in USA, $75 ticket and be on your way. But over there, it was very, it was criminalized over there. You know, like, oh man, she did something bad. Oh, this, oh man, the end of the world type situation for them. So when they had the thought of, okay, well, I got this famous female basketball player, let's use that leverage for our benefit. And I think that's what happened.
Or was it? You know, it just goes back for me. And I know Jim and I are probably listening because she probably going to eat this up because, you know, she goes super deep. That's why I left her last. My thing is, or was it? Or was it really the factor of this was a revenue move? I don't believe so. Or was this a political move and Brittney Griner was just at the wrong place at the wrong time? Because my opinion is, and I was just discussing this, is that I feel like this has been in the plans as far as Russia is concerned. This has been in planning, I should say, for a while. She just so happened to be that individual. And what I mean by that is, you know, because from experiences that we've seen, obviously they're very calculated. You know, like you say, Putin's very calculated. And I just feel that it just happened too smoothly. It was just so easy of a decision. Everything happened so fast, so drastically. And no matter where you are, they know that a little bit of cannabis doesn't equate to 9 freaking years
Absolutely
in anybody's prison, no matter where you are.
That's true.
But yet you all negotiate for such a terroristic person, because he's labeled as a terrorist in America. He's labeled as a very dangerous individual. He's something, I forgot the exact name, so don't quote me on it, something of death. That's what he's labeled as. If it was an American that had that type of title,
they'd be done.
They would have been done. So let's go to that. I'm happy you said that, Gemini. They would have been done because unbeknownst to a lot of people, he didn't even have a life sentence. And you all know we don't play supposedly over here. He only had 25 years. Whereas, let's think about this. You have people that sell drugs, for instance, right? Sell drugs. They get life sentences and they hand it out like they change your underwear.
Oh yeah.
Because this plague has not changed. It has maybe lightened the load, but it's still here. It's still in society. So how can we have such a dangerous person, such a ruthless person, for lack of a better word that I'm thinking in my head, but I will spare the people what I really want to say. How did we only give him that? And then he wasn't even housed at one of our maximum federal facilities for these types of individuals. Yeah. So in my personal opinion, this was a political stance from the beginning of time. Brittney just got caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. And once they found out who she was, they leveraged it to their advantage.
Oh, they know who she was.
Because guess what? That's my opinion. They knew exactly who she was. And they used her as leverage.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's going to be a lot of questions. I know it's a lot of different things, and I'm not going to get into the politics of it and how I just feel the political side of things, because we'll go on and on all night. And I know it'll be an outrage, but it's just some real, I wasn't enthralled. Like, I just wasn't like, oh my God, this is so good. I'm happy that she's home because she did not deserve that. I'm really happy. And this has nothing towards Brittney at all. I love her profession, love her attitude, her mannerisms, where she's going. And she deserved to be home because she didn't deserve that treatment. However, we need to do a little better as a country. We definitely need to do better because we can't control what Russia does. That's not our democracy. But we have some rights in the United States of America. I just feel like we need to do better as a country
Yeah.
because we really slipped by allowing somebody that ruthless to only get 25 years. But we could take a kid that may have made a mistake or someone made a mistake first time around and give them the book and throw it and drop it and never look back. We just got to do better. We got to do better. We got to do so much better. It's disturbing how we have to do better.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I feel like there's always a whole bunch of secret things going on that we the people aren't privy to. So it takes a case like this that makes it seem like there should be a whole lot more going on, but it really does come down to the politics of this country slash company to say we don't know what Russia has on on the United States of America for them to have them in a chokehold to be like, all right, give us that guy, we'll throw you back this person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if we don't negotiate with terrorists and that person's classified as a terrorist, how did we just make that negotiation? Unless there's some kind of blackmail, some kind of information that we're not even privy to. And they know that as we, the people, we're not going to look into anything. We're just going to talk about it. And even no matter how far we look into it, they know that we're not currently standing in our political power to really even do anything. And then in a week, if they want to cover it up, they'll raise gas prices or drop gas prices and have us distracted, and we're going to forget all about this anyway. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, how deep are we willing to dig? And when we hit something, are we willing to dig it up and dust it off and do something about it?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I am going piggyback into what you said, Gemini. I believe, I seriously believe, I have no doubt that it is some type of blackmail going on because Russia, the way that Russia has power over us, and it's not even supposed to be that way. First of all, in the United States, you can't even negotiate with someone that's holding a gun to your head amongst each other. You see what I mean? So if I'm in the bank holding your head, I'm going to get shot. There's no negotiation with any type of terrorist down here, right? Like you said. So all of a sudden now, hey, let's talk about it. Why? Okay, there's something going on. Number one, I know Russia is the leading supplier, one of the leading supplier other than Saudi Arabia and so forth, one of the leading suppliers of oil, of natural energy, natural gas and so forth. So that could be one thing too. Because Putin could say, you know what, forget y'all. I'm going to cut everybody off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then that's when we're going to see the gas prices go up to like it is in California, $10, $15 per gallon and so forth. So obviously the U.S. don't want that. So of course they had to kisses behind in one way or the other to have it done. You know, again, it's a political thing and it's something that's hidden that we cannot basically fathom right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't fathom that. It's beyond our control. But again, like Ginger said, I'm glad she's home. I'm glad she's back with her wife. And I just hate the fact where the way she looked from the pictures that I've seen. You know, they cut her hair. She's looking even more, just skinnier, frail. Like they really did something to her.
Yeah, they try to dehumanize her, but yet and still, when you saw the split image of her and the swap, he looks like he's in a much better, his statuesque, everything about him just looks healthier than the treatment that she received. And I'm pretty sure her treatment that she received was not standard, especially to the lifestyle that she's accustomed to. Right. So I know they made it even harder because look how they treat their own people. So you really think they're going to treat an American with respect and dignity and all of these things, whereas he was in one of our possibly best prisons.
Eating lobster.
Eating whatever he wants.
Eating lobster.
Yeah, eating whatever he wants and living a great life, taking a hot bath and so forth. You saw the bed that she was in. That girl is tall.
Yeah.
Her bed was smaller than my son's bed. So yeah, it's just, it's a lot of politics. And like you said, it's a lot of things that we hide. I don't care what nobody say, I will argue them down. There's a lot of things that we don't know about our own country. And The more you grow and the more you learn about, like you say, your rights and the Constitution and Declaration and all of these things and things that we were taught and little songs and words. Now, as an adult, if you really take the time and think about the words, land of the free. How? How is this the land of the free when you can't even say what you want to say without it possibly becoming a problem? And now today, in today's time, it's even worse. So how is the land of the free where we're giving back terrorists, sending back?
Yeah. What I've been studying.
When she came back, she wasn't even embraced.
Yeah.
Did y'all see when he went back? They had an entire celebration.
I didn't see that. No.
He was met with so much love, a celebration. Just, you would have thought the president came to their country when he was met back.
Wow. But that's, again, it's politics. Something is hidden because they really want that man free. Russia really wanted that man free because he has...
He's an asset to them.
Yeah, he's a definite asset. And I'm
he's
sure...
definitely, and I'm sure he's an alliance in a lot of different areas that we probably can't touch to talk about. But I'm sure he's an alliance for a lot of different things because I've never seen our country act like they were just so shaken and then nobody talked about it and all of a sudden you swap her out for somebody like that.
Yeah,
where's the equality?
Yeah,
basically, to me, there's no comparison.
Yeah, basically, Putin basically bend over and the U.S. just kissed his ass. That's it. That's why I'm going to put that in a nutshell, and I don't care. That's what happened. Putin bend over, U.S. kissed his ass, just like that. We could have said no. We could have done a lot for that lady. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's a shame. And it won't stop. And I'm sure there's other people over there. I think there's a couple more people in Russia that's been caught, and they don't want to release them because they have that power. They have that particular power, and we catch them doing espionage down here, doing crazy stuff, and all we do is put them in a not even a maximum security penitentiary. We just let them put him in a prison and let him basically have what he wants in prison. So that was basically a blue collar type thing.
Some of them don't even go to American prison. Some of them scream and have their countries come and get them because we can't hold them.
Right.
Some countries we cannot hold depending on what it is. Their countries come and get them. And when they get back to their country, they are free. Free as a bird.
Yep. It comes to your status in those streets. The things that definitely talking about a couple shows ago about correcting our status as U.S. nationals, not citizens.
Yep.
Right now, we're considered as dead entities, even calling ourselves Black. So it's like if somebody takes us, it's like we don't really have any leverage with our current incorrect status. The United States is already in the chokehold, one, because of their lies, which made us feel like we're not even living in our birthright. We're not living in our birthright because of the lies. They've been in control, supposedly, because of the facade of money. They want to control things. They're pretending to be government. There's a lot of things that we, as the people who actually are the ones in power, don't know. So when the country's in a pickle, we're the pawns on the board. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They in other countries, that's why a lot of people leave America, to be honest. Because in other countries, they have a different status. Their healthcare is free. Their school is free. You know what I'm saying? They have more actual freedom. They're living in a lot of their liberties. So we don't have the correct status to even hold someone like that. They have treaties in place. We have treaties in place that we don't know about. So we get treated like trash. You know what I'm saying? So those countries who have their people in their proper status, those people have protection. We don't have protection from our own country because we're not in our proper status. Now, when we correct our proper status, which I started the process today, finally, thank God, to correct our status as a United States national. So like I said, I'm not Black, I'm Indian American, I'm not a citizen, I'm a United States national. Because there's United States of America Corporation, that's a company facading as government, and then there's these states that happen to be united. Now, when we correct our status, they can't even pull you over in your car. You know what I'm saying? The police work for us. All these people work for us. But when we put ourselves in a position where everything's flipped, anybody can do anything to us. And for the United States to say we don't negotiate with terrorists, if Russia didn't have leverage, we would have never got that girl back. Ever. Because to them, she's just a number. Like, being honest. That's why there's no welcome party. You know what I'm saying? For Russia, I'm sure they have their people in a completely different kind of system. For the United States, we are numbers. So, like, I'm glad she's back. I'm glad she's home. I feel like it highlights even more the irrelevance of us if we're outside of our correct status. Because had that been a different case, we would have never seen her again. So
right.
updating our status is very, very important. That way, she would have been airlifted out of there day one.
Yep.
Day
Well,
one.
I think she started to give up because she had already cut her hair. And from the blogs, they say that she was preparing for a Russian winter. To her, she had already given up. You know, she had already given up, which is disgusting because you don't hear about any negative things or, you know, like she's a good in the public's eye. But regardless of who would think that, okay, smoking a little herb, I don't smoke. However, people that do, whatever, it's going to get you that much time. I'm sure she would have never anticipated that. And the reason they went gung ho was because of who she was. Like I said, even if they had no recollection of who she was at the time of the crime, they did their research as any other law-abiding authority would do.
Yeah.
Once they did their research, they knew she was American, right? So you have identification because no matter who you are, you got to travel with some form of identification. They knew she was American. Believe me, once they pulled that up and it popped up,
bingo.
And I'm sure everything started popping up. They probably said, hey, do you know who we have?
We got a winner.
Do you know who we have? This is great. Let us start making phone calls. Believe me, we all know how quick rumors go with just nobodies, right? So imagine another country like that we're always bumping heads with actually capturing someone that's in the public eye like crazy, a professional athlete. She's a home name. People know exactly who she is. And they know if we do this to this individual, we are going to rattle some and shake some feathers in America. What we always do. Because anytime you hear Russia, we always shake and shudder. Yet they always say how strong America is. When we say Russia, we shake and shudder. We say China, we shake and shudder. How? But yet we always deploying our troops. We got the strongest, supposed to be armed forces, right? Yeah, we shake and shudder.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
And then we using someone. We use someone, or we want to use it, but we allow someone or some persons to consistently just stay in that country for somewhat of that stature. Talking about the swap, the arms dealer, we should have been able to negotiate, say no, release all our people because we have him here and he is just that. But they already knew because we already didn't give him the maximum sentence anyway. So I just feel like we were already in a losing battle. From the beginning, we were in a losing battle, which is going to constantly cause issues because now if someone else goes and this happens to, what are we going to say as a country when we don't negotiate their homecoming? And we still have people over there that we did not bring home, that we did not fight for. So to the public's eye, it seems like we only fought for one individual, which once again, we're not negating the fact that we are ecstatic that she's home because she deserved to be home. However, what about the remaining U.S. citizens that sit in a foreign prison? What happens to them?
They're probably going to sit there. They're probably going to sit there until, of course, I don't know, something happened. But like Michelle stated in the comments, the group. This happened before with us. It's called the Iran Contra affair, where we sold guns to fund war. And now the U.S. don't like that. They basically, you know, took this person, you know, captured this person and so forth. And that was that. Okay. So now, of course, Russia won him back as much as we can. So Russia didn't have that leverage like Brittney Griner. Okay. Didn't have that leverage as far as a well-known individual. Okay. Russia didn't have that. So once they had that, boom, that was it. That was it. All she wrote. Now Russia had the leverage. Russia had everything in their power right now. Russia had us basically in a turmoil. And it is what it is. You know, we got welcome back, Ginger. We got Brittney Griner back and so forth. And now I just hope you know, she could do better. And now here's the sad part. Okay. This is why majority of the women basketball players go to other countries, because of the pay. They are not paid, not even a fraction of what the men are getting paid. So of course in other countries, they're seen as big superstars. Of course, they're going to get the million and endorsements overseas. So that's what happened. That's number one. So had the the Women Basketball League had them basically put some equality, put some type of contract, because they're making money. Once we watch a show or something on TV, it's automatic money to them. So basically the WNBA is making all this money and not paying these professionals. They are professionals. They're not just women, they are professionals. So might as well just basically, and they play the 80 games or 90 games per year. They do the playoffs, they go to the championship, they do everything that the NBA does, but not get paid, not even a fraction of what they're getting paid. Just to start off, a rookie in the NBA, you're looking at probably between $5 to $10 million a year.
Yeah, the WNBA doesn't. WNBA doesn't make
100,000, I think, a year or something like that for certain players. Now that's the top tier players,
and that's
top
trash.
tier players. Okay,
that's trash, because that's not even a C-suite corporate executive pay salary. I'm sorry, that's not good.
So the U.S. have to. I mean, I'm sorry, not even the U.S. The NBA, WNBA has to do better to keep our players here. So Brittney and other people like her that go overseas to get paid just as much as the men, we need to basically renegotiate and stop that, or even have some type of talk, especially for the next year. Hey, you see what happened to Brittney? I don't want that to happen to me. Let's talk. You see what I mean? Let's talk, because the top tier player, the best player NBA, WNBA, I believe you're looking at probably $2 to $3 million a year. That's it.
And that's for the WNBA?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just coming in,
that's not much at all.
If you come in as a rookie, what, 100, 200,000 a year and so forth, that's nothing.
And you're saying that the men make more?
Well, the men make way more.
LeBron James getting 80 million a year. You know,
some of those players you can't even have a conversation with. You talk. First of all, think about it, right? These household, like beyond household names, like he just said, LeBron James. You think LeBron James is gonna be on the court for 100,000? That's peanuts. That is peanuts. You got some of the greats, and basketball is a very stable, profession. In comparison to like football, very stable. Things still happen, but yeah. When I found out how like the pay scale, the difference, there's really like nowhere close as far as equality.
That's interesting.
Yep. Let me see, pull up the highest paid. Oh, matter of fact, I'm wrong. For 2023, the highest paid WNBA player, $234,000. Oh, I'm sorry. $234,000. The highest paid WNBA player. And the base max, just to get in, just for you to bounce that ball for a team, is $190,000.
Might as well get a job.
Okay. Some basketball players, now they play 80 games or 85 games per season. Some basketball players are getting that per game.
Yep.
Per game.
You can guarantee
Every
it.
game. Yeah, every game. 200, 300, a million just to play, just to
First
shoot
of
a
all,
ball.
yeah,
It's
if you
ridiculous.
look up tickets, right? And I'm gonna use it because I like to go to different things. We just looked up, we went to a game that was not as hyped up. But then you look at a different game that's hyped up, or you got the names, the ticket prices fluctuate drastically. And that's anything though. So imagine what's the difference, because they train the same, they travel the same, the sport is the same, the rules are the same. It's just that they're women.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the difference?
I feel like I was watching a documentary on bodybuilding with my niece the other day, and it was saying the same thing, how the women in bodybuilding, they started taking steroids and all that just to compete with the men, because the women were getting paid so little and the men were getting so much attention and getting paid so much more.
Right.
The women started trying to do a whole bunch of extra stuff and putting themselves in danger, going to get steroids from Mexico and all of that just to be in this arena. So what is the difference? If all this time we've been fighting to be equal with gender equality, equal with pay, it's like, where is there still this gap that the person who does the same amount of practice, books the same amount of shows, plays the same amount of games, why does it come down to I don't get paid as much because I'm a woman? If anything, I should get paid more, because if I get pregnant, now you're losing your asset. Entice me to lock it up or something, because you want me shooting that ball. You know what I'm saying? You want me on your court. So if anything, you should pay me more. Because if somebody comes sweep me off my feet, I'm gone. I'm just saying. I'm not good be paid. I'm just saying, if you're gonna pay somebody on that money, give it to me. Because
true.
we have so much more to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have woman things and mother things and wife things. I'm not saying husbands don't have things, but it's just like, as women, I feel like we the creme de la creme. So if you're gonna pay somebody $8 million a year, it should be me.
Oh yeah.
Or at least get me close.
Something.
Yeah.
And you know the crazy part? I heard somewhere that I think there's a stipulation inside the contract that you cannot get pregnant after a certain period of time. Yeah, I think I have to do the research, but yeah, because of course you're gone for 9 months. You're gone for 9 months, so you can't help me or help the team win games or win championships.
Well, entice me to not get pregnant and be gone. I'm just saying. I might be like, babe, I'm on a contract. But if he's like, if he's the male basketball player and I'm the female, he clearly got both of us. So I'm playing for fun at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Entice me to stay. I'm glad they did bring her back.
If he playing and I'm playing, yeah, I'll be done playing, because I'm like, listen, you send your paycheck and you saw mine?
Oh yeah.
Good. I'm done today.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous how the and let's jump to a slightly a different subject with the inequality for women nowadays. Now there's certain things that I understand a woman cannot do, but again, there needs to be some type of equality.
What you talking about, Willis?
When it comes to pay, I believe that you guys should get more. You guys should get some money, a lot more than what you guys are getting, especially for $190,000 a year. That's that's ridiculous. You're busting your butt every day, practice, doing the same regimen every day for the past 10 years and so forth, and you're making 190. So in 10 years, I can see $1 million.
Some people get up and go to work and make that amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, let's be for real.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly. Like Jim and I said, you might as well get a job. And you won't have to even train every day as hard and all of that stuff. However, to have those type of salaries, you got to be great at what you do. Mm-hmm. It's always the tips of the scales.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, at least for equality. Listen, if I'm a female, if I am a manager and I hired a female manager to accompany me. If I'm making $200,000 a year and she only making $56,000 a year, something is wrong. We're in the same level of management, same degree, same experience and everything. But the only difference is you're a female and I'm a male, but I get paid 3 times as you. Nah, that needs to be changed a little bit,
Right.
at least.
But I'm gonna play devil's advocate with that one. If you know and you're no, are you willing to speak up for yourself and know where you stand? Because we have put things, you have like diversity, inclusion, equity. There's a lot of different things. I'm one of the leaders in that, actually certified in that area. Are you willing to actually speak up because this is your right? Or will you
Absolutely.
stay and just complain about it? No, but I'm just speaking in general terms what normally happens. You have some that know what they
Mhm.
can do or what they deserve, but then would you speak up for yourself? Or
Yeah,
would you
I
just
would.
keep complaining? No, of course I know you would, but I'm just speaking in a lot of general terms. You have a lot of people that would know something isn't right, but they'll just accept it. And I've never understood that. Like, why?
I guess
Like
they're
if
afraid to
they
get
all went on
fired.
strike, right?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And believe it or not, they have taught people to say, oh, you can't talk about your salary. You're not supposed to ask people what they make. And that's not true. That is so not true. Now you're not supposed to, excite a riot of problems within your organization, but you can ask what the salary ranges for certain positions. If you don't ask, how would you know?
Right.
How
So
would you know?
But
Yeah,
some people get fired over that, right?
they're not supposed to though.
Yeah, that's
That's what
crazy.
I
You get
mean.
fired
Like,
over that.
yeah, but literally, but once again, too, there's a lot of different things that people have gotten fired about that they can actually hold the organization or the company accountable because it is against the law. So it goes back to we have to know what you're up against. You have to educate yourself because then you become just knowledgeable. You become a weapon within itself, and you don't want to use it as far as weaponizing something. But a mind is a terrible thing to waste. You have to know who you are and where you stand in any setting, any setting. Because if I come to you and you're mistreating me, and I know my rights, and I know what you're supposed to be doing and what you're not supposed to be doing,
Right.
and then you fire me because you don't like me, and now I go
Yeah,
and get,
that's crazy.
and now I go and instead of arguing with you and saying, "Oh, you don't like me, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
But when I come back with firepower, I go and get an attorney or something like that, you're going to shake and shut, and I guarantee you won't do it again because you never expected someone to actually know what they know. And maybe you didn't even know because you didn't think about it. You only living your life based on your title.
Yeah, I think a
People
lot of
got to
people
educate themselves.
because a lot of times when cases like that come up, they make people sign a non-disclosure. They're like, "All right, we'll pay you, but don't tell anybody because we don't
Yeah.
know what they're coming to." They be knowing. They have
They know.
lawyers. They know how to play the game. And the moment you step up, they'll be like, "All right, just keep it quiet. We'll give it to
Yeah.
you." They
But
really
see,
scared
yeah,
of people standing up.
absolutely. Anyone who stands up, anyone who defends themselves, you a powerful person. You have to know your own power, where you stand. When you speak up for yourself, like they say, no is a powerful word. It's true. When you know who you are and what you stand for and what you deserve, you a
Mm.
powerful person, whether you male or female. When you're gonna stop allowing people to walk over you? And then I just feel I don't agree with the people who just say, okay, we can settle out. Why would you settle out? So then you're missing the whole point of the entire process you began. Because now only thing you did, they wanted you to do that. Now when people have something that really happened to them and they just settled out, if
Yeah.
you
They don't
really
want the
wanted to,
backlash.
yeah, if you really wanted to make a mark, you will see it through. You will see it through. And once again, that's my personal opinion. However, when you really want to make a mark or you really want to make a difference, you see it through. Because guess what? When you see something through, people get afraid.
Mhm.
The naysayers and the opposers, they're afraid because now they see, okay, this person is taking this all the way to the top. I can't do them the way I've probably been doing other things. Or if not, I didn't realize the power they're bringing behind them.
I just
And
hope
guess
we just
what?
see change soon.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
But that's the perfect word. That's the only way we're going to see change. If you think about all our great leaders, what did they do? They saw it through. They stood up. They used the power that they had. They knew, they educated themselves. and they just say, I'm gonna walk out on faith. I got this. Whatever happens is gonna happen, but I am not gonna sell out because it's a purpose and I need something. I need things to change.
That's
And they
true.
went through hell and high water, but it was worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like nowadays we're allowing them to revert back to a lot of the ways that our people overcame.
Well, we're gonna see. Hopefully we're gonna see some change. Hopefully,
We will. We have to start speaking those words too, those definitive words. We will.
Mm-hmm.
We will see change.
Mm-hmm.
Because hopefully
Darn
still
right.
saying we're not sure. We still a little afraid when we say hopefully. Or maybe, I guess, probably. Yeah. It's those words, but I'm just speaking on things that I had to learn.
Yeah.
One of my mentors one time, I remember he taught me, he was a Caucasian male. And he said, Shakira, when you want something or you're speaking something, use definitive words because this is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're starting saying, well, I'm trying, you're already telling yourself that you're not going to accomplish these things.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say I am, I will, I have, it is going, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Words of power.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when they say words of affirmation, when you use those words and you speak things into it, you really manifest out your mouth. And that's a true manifestation. It's the truth.
Yeah, I agree. When I was in college, I was studying psychology, and it just sitting here thinking on the issue we were discussing as far as why pay women less, why pay men more. I realized the game of devaluing the women because a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So if a woman doesn't feel valued, they're basically paying men to do things like they won't pay you well on a decent job. Not that basketball isn't decent. I know a lot of people enjoy sports, but I'm going to pay you and put you on a pedestal to play a game. And I'm going to let a woman play the same game, but show her how much we don't even value her. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, women are just naturally great at everything. And if psychologically we can keep on putting you in a position to make you feel like you're nothing, you're going to function in society as nothing. You're going to birth kids and you're never going to feel good enough because we're showing you socially and statistically and in every way in society that no matter what you do, you're less than. You could do the same work. You could do the same things and just be completely undervalued. And I feel like it's definitely speaking towards the psychological gambit of what they're doing. They're doing it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, Ginger, it really takes people knowing their worth. Know is a powerful word, N-O, but so is K-N-O-W. Because when you know yourself, you're not going to settle for certain things. You're not going to put up with this anything. If you say, look, if I go on strike and you fire me and you hire somebody who's willing to take 100,000, do that. But you're not going to have me thinking that that's all I'm worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And you use the word devalue and just, keeping it in correlation with what we've been talking about. That's exactly what I feel Russia did to Brittney or the entire time. They made every attempt to devalue who she was and to actually show the way that they valued her, which was nothing. They didn't have much value of who she was and who she is in their country. The way that we value her. Oh my goodness, yeah.
I feel like the question is, though, for real, do we even value her? I feel like other people treat you how they know you feel about yourself. If they know
do we value her
in this country don't value ourselves nor one another, they're going to treat you like crap. A lot of people, if you go to Africa right now, I've heard so many people talk about going to Africa and be like, I'm American, or even call themselves African Americans. And the Africans look at them like, and first of all, no person in Africa calls themselves African because Africa is a continent, not a country. So if I'm from the continent of Africa, but the country of Ghana, I'm Ghanaian. So even just to say African American we seem like imbeciles to everybody outside of the United States. Because once again, we don't know our status, we don't know our stature, we don't have a position. So we're all treated and treat each other like pieces of crap. So when we go out of the country, we get treated accordingly. And no, I don't think it's right at all. I think everything is showing us and triggering us to figure out who we are so we can stand as something. You know, I appreciate the conversations we have because it's like, yes, these things are happening. Also, at the same time, what are we doing about it? Because
Exactly.
we having these same stories happen. We can't have our people who look like us go out of the country to experience and broaden their horizons and have terrible experiences because we're traveling in ignorance. We're walking in ignorance. We're talking in ignorance. We're using words and people are looking at us like, are you educated? And it's like you could have book education, but if you don't have self-education, you don't really know anything. And they
No.
really look at us as idiots. Like truly. I know a lot of people
Mhm.
who travel to other countries and they're like, you guys, like they're laughing at us. I had a Spanish man tell me, he said, I know more about your history than you. He told me that to my face. He said, you don't even, I know who you are. You don't even know who you are. Told me that.
Wow.
And I feel like it's time we start looking like, who are we really? Because when we know, none of those things will happen. You won't be able to get locked up at home nor abroad because you'll be walking in such a stature that, like, they know you royalty. And royalty is a state of mind. Heaven and hell is here. So if I'm walking as royalty, that means I'm on my P's and Q's. That means I know what to do. I know where to go. I know how to function in each room. I know how the operation is and the rules of engagement, and I'm on it. I'm not playing checkers. I'm playing chess. But when we out here playing checkers, Bloods and Crips, black and white, red and blue, it's like you don't know. You allowing yourself to be internally divided, and that internal division, a house divided by against itself, cannot stand. So we have to come together as a people, figure out who we are, even if we make it up. We got to figure something out because they treating us crazy, but we treat ourselves like that too.
Yep. Why should anyone else treat us with dignity, honor, respect, and when we don't?
Right.
Yep.
Perfect
And
example.
just by saying that, I really believe right now that the WNBA should go on strike for more money. After what happened to Brittney, I believe this is the time right now something should change. And as far as the players should stand together and make something right now, because if they go on strike, there will be no televised games. They would lose a lot of money. Just by us coming together, they would lose a lot of money, and they don't want that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it'll cause an even
A big ruckus.
public outcry because of what happened to her. And now we're demanding this because look what just happened to her.
Yeah. And unfortunately, she probably would have to be the poster child for this, for what happened. You know what I'm saying? But if I would, even if I was Brittney Griner, I would sacrifice myself to be that poster child to make changes for the future. Because it has to be done. It has to be done right now.
I wouldn't even see it as a sacrifice. Sometimes we go through things to put us in the position to lead the people out of oppression. And right now, as a poster child, she would be the leader of all of those women who are being oppressed, you know,
Absolutely.
professional slavery. It just is what it is.
Right
like I was saying, our past ancestors who had to lead us, they had to go through hell and high water.
Oh, yeah.
But they saw it through.
Yes. I feel like she's in the perfect position to take charge on this. Or she would have to lose some dignity and go back and get her position and play the game for the cheers and the applauses. But you're not going to feel like a whole person going back to that, knowing you were just allowed to be traded for an arms dealer. And while you were there, your country was doing nothing. And the only reason they got you back was to make it look like a fair deal because behind the curtain, there's something else going on. So you were used as a distraction. And had that not been the case, you'd still be over there and no one would ever hear from you again. I think she's in the perfect position to take charge and stand for something. And maybe even get the NBA involved. Have some men, because at the end of the day, you know, if it's WNBA, NBA, they're our brothers. They're the brothers, we're the sisters. And it's like, if we can't even stand, first of all, y'all make so much money. This is the time to stand for something. They're not gonna fire you. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna cut the NBA off. So stand. I think they should stand with the WNBA and really make something shake.
That's
Stand in
exactly what needs
unity.
to be done right there. Yeah. And have people like LeBron, have people like Steph Curry, you know what I'm saying? The big players just stand up right now. Talk about it. I don't care. Just talk about it during your conferences every night after every game. Just blur it out. Like, listen, hey, the WNBA needs to change. Things needs to happen. Our players needs to stay in the USA versus them have to go out in other countries just to make a living.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it needs to be done.
Right.
Wow, good topic, guys. I love it. I love it. But yeah, it's the end of the night here. Wow, what can I say? It was good. I enjoy I enjoy the camaraderie and I enjoy the topics. I enjoy your feedback, everyone. And Ginger, that was a beautiful topic. I hope everyone is listening. I hope some type or someone in the NBA or someone that knows someone in the NBA go ahead and forward this to someone so we can see if we can make a change for these ladies. It needs to be done right away. Definitely. Any last
Absolutely.
words?
Just for me, peace and blessings. Let's stand up and see it through. That's going to be my mantra for this week. See it through. It doesn't matter whether it's small, big, in between, intermediate. See it through. See the vision through. Push, push, push. See it through.
Absolutely. Gemini?
Stand for something. Figure out what it is and just stand. You know who you are and don't allow anyone or anything to sway you, nor your opinion on that. Figure out your identity and have that be a fact in your life, not a question mark.
Absolutely. Woo. Beautiful, beautiful ladies. Well, this is it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank all our listeners for tuning in tonight and every Monday night to listen to what we have to say. We appreciate you. We love you. We welcome you again to any comments that you have each every podcast. Okay, we'll be back next week, Monday on the 19th, and we're out. We love you guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Peace.